Hey everyone, how's it going? Cairo here with TCS Rockets. Today, we are going to talk about the top 5 black cards of Ikoria. First up on our list is Zagath Mamba. Zagath Mamba is 1 black for a 1/1, and it reads, whenever this creature mutates, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. So very obvious what you're supposed to do with this card. You're supposed to mutate onto it. However, I think it has a huge ability when you do mutate onto it. This is a very solid 1-drop. 1-mana 1/1s are just nice and aggressive. They are the baseline. However, this creature's upside is huge. If we're able to play this on turn 1, follow it up with a more than likely turn 3 mutate spell, we're able to remove any of our opponent's blockers and get in there for damage. And this ability is consistent and will continue to trigger as the turns go on. So a 1/1 that essentially can remove multiple creatures is huge. And if you're playing a mutate deck, you should definitely be playing Zagath Mamba. Next up on our list is Grim Dancer. Grim Dancer is a 3-mana 3/3, so 1 and 2 black for a creature nightmare. Grim Dancer enters the battlefield with your choice of 2 different counters. It can either have Menace, Death Touch, or Lifelink. A lot of flexibility on this card. It's very good at all stages in the game. If you're ahead, you can pick Menace, Death Touch to ensure that anything that blocks it will die, or it can't be blocked at all and it'll get in there for damage. If you're behind, you can choose Death Touch Lifelink to ensure that you can remove a big creature and gain life in the process. Or if you're against an aggro deck, you can choose Lifelink Menace for a lifelink creature that is incredibly hard to block. A lot of flexibility here, a lot of value here, and if you're playing black, you should be playing Grim Dancer. It slots into all stages of the game, and it's great against all matchups. Following our Grim Dancer, we have the Hunted Nightmare. Hunted Nightmare is a very similar creature. It is a 3-mana 4/5 with Menace. It also reads, when Hunted Nightmare enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a Death Touch counter on a creature they control. So, there is a downside to this creature. It's a 3-mana 4/5 with Menace, which is great. However, one of your opponent's creatures gets Death Touch, so if they're able to block it, it kills your guy. But this downside is mitigated by a few things. Number 1, if you're able to play this on an empty board, none of their creatures get Death Touch because they simply have no creatures. Furthermore, if you're playing removal spells, which, let's not kid ourselves, you definitely are, you're playing black after all, you could simply remove the creature they put the Death Touch counter on. So overall, this creature has a downside that's heavily mitigated by its color, and really, I don't see it as a downside at all. I highly recommend you try this card out. It's a very, very hard creature to deal with. Menace is a great keyword, making it very hard to block. And a 4/5 body for 3 is amazing. So if you haven't already, you should try out the Hunted Nightmare. Next up on our list is a card that's going to help you make sure this Hunted Nightmare never gets blocked, and that is Heartless Act. Heartless Act is a 2-mana instant, 1 and a black, and it reads, choose 1. Destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from a creature. So the first mode is very cut and dry. It's a newer version of Doomblade. It destroys any creature with no counters, which is fairly common outside of Ikoria. Within Ikoria, of course, there are tons of counters going around, so it's not always going to be able to destroy a creature. However, the secondary mode has you covered. Being able to remove up to 3 counters from a creature is huge. A lot of the times you can attack, let your opponent block with their creature that has a Death Touch counter on it, and then boom, before damage, we're going to remove that counter. You no longer kill my creature and I eat yours. It's a ton of value. Overall, I highly recommend you try out Heartless Act, and you should definitely be playing it in any of your black decks. And finally, the best black card in Ikoria is Dirge Bat. Dirge Bat is a 4-mana 3/3, 2 and 2 black for a flash flyer. It also has Mutate for 4 and 2 black, and it reads, when this creature mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. This is huge. It is instant speed creature removal, it is instant speed planeswalker removal, and it all comes on a 3/3 body that flies. You might not always want to play this for its mutate cost. You might just want to play it as a 4-mana 3/3, but If you eventually mutate onto it later, it will still trigger its ability. This is a lot of tempo, and it's very punishing for your opponents if they're unable to answer it. Overall, I would consider this the best black card in Ikoria, and it slots into any of your mutate decks. Alright everyone, that was the top 5 black cards of Ikoria. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like and a subscription. And if you think I missed any cards, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. Take it easy.